I'm Daniel, and welcome to the Emunah Project. We here at the Emunah Project are continuing in our series of videos with respect to information, education, guidance, advice. And I was sitting in the garage the other day waiting for the people to put on my snow tires. So naturally, of course, my thoughts turned to the Holy Ark of the Covenant. And if you've ever seen drawings or any representation of the Ark, if you've seen the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, you'll see it's a wooden box overlaid with gold, with a thick, heavy gold lid on it, and I suppose you call them cherubs, cheruvim, on top, looking at each other, and their wings extended over the Ark. And on the sides, there's these two long poles, also made out of wood, also overlaid in gold, as it sets out in the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 15. And it says, with respect to the poles, that they are not to be removed from it. The poles shall remain in the rings. There's rings on the side of the ark. The poles are to be inserted and remain in the rings and never be removed from it, ever. And they're a permanent part of the ark. Rashi's comments says le'olam, forever. So it was Rabbi Yitzchak Goldwasser who implied from this that the poles, the Badim, weren't just poles in order to carry the ark. They actually became part and parcel of the ark itself. It was an integral part, and there's no distinction between the poles and the ark. They weren't accessories. They weren't just ancillary to it. So when the Leviim, when the Levites, the assistant priests, as it were, lifted the ark by its poles, they were actually literally lifting the ark, because the poles were part of the ark, just like the lid was part of the ark. And Chazal says, our sages say, that when the Leviim lifted the ark also lifted them. I think it was the late Rabbi Aryeh Kaplan, who I think had a master's or a doctorate in physics, who calculated the weight, judging the acacia wood, the wood, how thick it was, how thick the gold was, the dimensions, the poles. And I don't remember the exact weight, but it was a lot. And so what happens is that the Leviim, when they carried it, the ark carried them. And we have here an analogy, a metaphor, between those who support the Torah, who donate to either institutions like yeshivas, Jewish schools, rabbinical schools, seminaries for women, or not only on an institutional level, but on an individual level, supporting scholars. These are supporting the scholars and supporting the Torah. The Torah, in turn, supports them and lifts it up. And by encouraging these people, by letting them study and devote, you will be rewarded. And it's a way of saying thanks. It's expressing gratitude, because you're thanking Hashem, you're thanking the Creator for your good fortune, and you're giving back. You become connected. As a supporter of the Torah, you become connected to the Torah. And in order to do so, to be truly connected, to be truly a supporter of the Torah, you have to also respect what it is you're supporting. You can't, you shouldn't give and then say, you know what, there's a bunch of lazy guys that's sitting around reading a Talmud all day, but I'll give them money, I'll support the yeshiva, but these guys should need to get a job. That's not the right attitude. And similarly, on the other side of the equation, if you are in the institution, or you are the scholar, or the student studying, you shouldn't say, well, yeah, he's probably got a lot of money, and who cares? He can spare the money. He's probably getting a big tax cut from it, and he can write it off. By doing this, you are actually severing yourself from the Torah. It's got to be the right attitude. So when those of us who support and donate towards these institutions or these scholars, like the Levi'im, like those who literally lifted up the Torah, because the Aron contained the Ten Commandments, who literally just like our sages say that the Aron lifted them just as much as they lifted the Aron, so too let us be supporters of the Torah, and in so doing, Bezras Hashem, the Torah will support us. We're going to be doing more videos along these lines. Please come back, please watch, please learn. And until next time, on behalf of the Emunah Project, I'm Daniel, and thank you too much.